Welcome back, Momentous family. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We're going to be talking about when to install carpet on your construction project. Carpet is definitely one of the last things we want to dive into on a construction project, namely because it is such a clean job to do. We also don't want that carpet to get damaged, have some paint leak on it, maybe the base molding gets some sawdust in there. There's really no reason why the carpet shouldn't be installed last on your project or at the very end. Today we're going to talk about when we installed our carpet on this project and also why we chose to do it when we did. So let's start off by first identifying what carpet is and the installation process. A carpet is basically, you got some tacks around the edges to keep the edges nice and tight, carpet padding, and then the actual carpet roll itself. The carpet installers will start by installing the tacks around the edges. Then they will go and cut the actual carpet padding to give it that soft feeling and also noise reduction too. Lastly, the carpet installers are going to actually place the carpet on top of the carpet pad, trim it, and then actually stretch it so that way it's a nice tight surface on the floor. When they're done, they're gonna vacuum it because you're gonna have some of the pile that came out after they cut it in these different areas, so they give it a nice clean vacuum, and then the job is done. As you can see, it's really not a messy job except for that vacuum of threads at the end, but it leaves it perfectly finished when we're done. Carpet installation happens so fast. I'm gonna show you the area we actually installed, and you're gonna see that it only took about 3 hours to do 2 rooms. A whole house, if you did an entire 3,000 square foot house, it may be 3 days of work, depending on the room layout, the corners, and everything like that. It goes in very fast, and it is something you definitely don't want to rush into. We always want to make sure all the painting is done before we install the carpet. We definitely don't want any paint splatters on the carpet itself. Next, we want to make sure all the finished carpentry is done. All the base molding is set. All the doors are set. If we can, we'll even put the door hardware in there. That will allow us to have a nice clean space where no one actually has to go back in that room except for the furniture movers when we're done. Looking at this process holistically on the construction site, we also want to make sure anything on the project that is dust involved is done as well to the best of our possible ability. There is always going to be certain situations like these doors that are behind us, as well as some of the cabinetry that still has to come in. But as you can see right here, all the floors are finished. So that way there is no more dusty work done. All the walls are painted except for this one little section, and we can continue on through the project. The last thing we want is dust being brought up and into the air when we have our nice carpet on the floor and it's absorbing all that dust. That's a big no-no. Lastly, we also don't want to have foot traffic over that carpet no matter how much we protect it if we can avoid it, right? We don't want a runner on a staircase installed if we still have to go back upstairs and do work. All right, so as you can see, some of these doors weren't cut before they were put in. The math wasn't done right to allow the carpet to be higher than hardwood flooring. And basically what we need to do now is undercut this swing door. You can see the bifold door, it's perfectly fine. It's above the carpet, that's good clearance. But the swing door definitely needs to be undercut. Basically the carpenter is gonna take it off the hinges. They're gonna take off probably about a ½ inch in this case, put the door back on, it's gonna be perfectly good. And that's how we're gonna correct that issue. Now, as you can see, we're not fully done with this construction project, and it's kind of violating what we talked about at the beginning. But that's because we actually today just had these doors behind us delivered. They had an 8-week lead time. So we were actually able to get everything done a lot faster than the doors that were ordered. It's just one of those things, we started this project really fast. We wanted to rip through it, get everything done, and then take care of this behind us at the end. Secondarily, the kitchen is not in yet, and that is primarily because cabinets had an 8-week lead time. Again, we wanted to rip through this construction project as fast as possible, but we accepted the carpet installation primarily because it was a good time of the project. We have the finished floors done. Pretty much all the moldings are done. As you saw, nice and tight to that carpet. There is still some work to be done, but this work is going to be clean work. We have the cabinets ready to go in. They're pre-finished, so there's no painting required. And these rooms are done too. So we don't actually have to go back into these rooms anymore. We can close the doors, seal them off, and they are done. So that's another reason why we went forward with the carpet. So that pretty much caps off when to install carpet, just remember that carpet always goes in last. It goes in after the base molding, it goes after painting walls, it goes after all the cabinetry, anything you could possibly think of. It goes in right before you move furniture onto it. So that's the recap, and there's always special situations, but don't go walking over that carpet trying to do another job once it's already in. Guys, we hope you found some value in this. This is Patrick Robertson at Momentous Building, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.